Each empty night I fight against the light. That is my destiny. Yet I know that having might don't mean you're right. I can't be both cruel and kind. When nothing makes sense, I look up at the clouds in the sky. They don't answer, but I still ask why. Stand tall, you won't fall. Even a wolf gets away now and then. Run into the sun. Sharpen your claws, bare your fangs, and go on. Run your own race, why go for second place? Go on and grab a star. You can't survive, you gotta stay alive. Heaven is not that far. When you're on the edge, you pledge to live just for today. Ain't no sense living in the past. Look ahead and you'll see that tomorrow has already come. Time heals all wounds and others go on. Stand tall, you won't fall. Courage is no more than this, so then you run into the sun. Seek out those souls which have not yet been sung. People do fall in love, though they may swear that the pain won't let go forevermore. I'll burn the flame of your dreams in my soul. Oh, angel, come meet the dawn. It's a brand new day. Oh, angel, let burn the passion that fires our soul.
Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Since the fall of Geese Howard, the city of Southtown has never been the same. Its people have grown complacent, and once fearsome warriors roam the streets like stray dogs. And though his legacy remains here in my keeping, it does so with no heir apparent. If there are any left in Southtown with fangs that bite, with claws that tear, with the ruthlessness and undying spirit of a true warrior, come to King of Fighters. Who will inherit the legacy of the fallen Emperor? Let the last wolves of this city determine that for themselves. Stroheim. Terry Bogard, the Wandering Warrior, known to many as the legendary Hungry Wolf. Having parted ways with his young ward Rock Howard after the last tournament, Terry found himself drifting once more. Terry did what he wanted when he wanted. But whether he was sparring or just shooting the breeze with old friends, Rock was never far from his thoughts. One day he received word of the next King of Fighters tournament, namely in the form of a letter that curiously made reference to Geese's legacy. A memory flooded his mind, the silhouette of his former protege as they said their goodbyes. Rock's fate would always be interwoven with the legacy of his father. Of that, Terry was sure. His curiosity piqued, the Hungry Wolf joins the fight, on the prowl for answers. Mai Shiranui, heir to the Shiranui school of ninjutsu. Mai had received no news from Andy, or his disciple Hokutomaru for that matter. since the pair disappeared into the mountains to train. Though her worried mind lingered, as leader of the Shiranui, Mai was simply unable to leave the village. One day, while reviewing Shiranui mission requests, a particular name catches Mai's attention. Sokaku Mochizuki. The Mochizuki clan were enemies of the Shiranui. If they would stoop so low as to ask for assistance, no doubt the situation had to be dire. Mai leaves the Shiranui village at once, en route to Southtown and the upcoming King of Fighters tournament. Andy Bogart was a master of Shiranui ninjutsu. Alongside his brother Terry and their friend Joe Higashi, he had vanquished Geese Howard, his father's killer. The fateful tragedy avenged at last, Andy had but one challenge left to overcome. That challenge was Terry Bogard, his brother. In his battle with Geese, Andy sustained a chest wound that time simply would not heal. Many moons passed, and his prime felt distant. Driven by years of frustration, Andy pulls himself together and sets out to join the King of Fighters tournament. Muay Thai master Joe Higashi could weave the wind. Joe was on a journey, with his students in tow to become the strongest fighter in the world when he was approached by a man named Cheng Shinzan. Cheng, it seemed, was a longtime fan of Joe's and wanted to film a documentary about him, The Legend of Joe. But as Joe easily crushed his opponents, something quickly became clear to the would-be director, that they would have no footage resembling a climactic finale. Luckily, Joe and Cheng caught wind of the upcoming King of Fighters tournament. And so, a storm blew into Southtown as Joe Higashi prepared to film the greatest fight scene in the history of cinema. After opening a kung fu class in Metro City's Chinatown, Chun-Li spent her days training alongside apprentice Li Fen and other beloved students. However, her newfound peace was cut short by an old international agent friend. Chun-Li learned that the remnants of an old criminal organization she knew all too well, Shadaloo, had re-emerged. Their hiding place, the port city of Southtown, an infamous hive for killers and criminals of all kinds. Contacting local agent Blue Mary, the two women set out on a fact-finding mission together. The investigation leads them to the King of Fighters tournament, where the truth lies in wait. The day her mother died, Hotaru Futaba lost everything, including the rest of her family. With her trusty Martin Itokatsu, she set off on a journey to find the brother she once knew. At the last tournament, Hotaru met a mysterious man named Gato. She believed this man to be her long-lost sibling, though he denied it and went on his way. The girl was haunted by mysteries. Why would her brother reject her? And why did her mother have to die? But she would not give up. She would bring what was left of her family together again. She would find her brother and her father and set things right, even if it meant facing off against them in the arena. And so, with firm resolve and a heavy heart, brave Hotaru enters King of Fighters. As his mother lay dying, his father fled. And so, Gato swore revenge. At the last tournament, an unexpected attack at the hands of his father had all but blinded Gato. And yet, it was the pain of defeat that had truly darkened his world. Guided by rage, he pushed his training harder than ever before. Though his sight was failing him, his other senses had sharpened like blades. Fortunately, his vision eventually returned, just in time for the next King of Fighters. Gato knew his father would be unable to resist the tournament, and he would have his revenge. The flames of retribution burn bright as Gato enters the fray. Hokutomaru, the righteous ninja bringing justice to Southtown. Having left his life in the mountains behind and driven by his master's words, Hokutomaru found himself striving for peace on the streets. Time passed, and he grew in more ways than one. One day, Hokutomaru defeats a thug holding a notice for an all-new King of Fighters tournament. The young ninja knows the event is his best chance to prove how strong he's become. Not just to his master and Terry, but also the people of the city. Everyone who has made him the man he is today. Hokutomaru straightens up, flips his scarf over his shoulder, and sets his sights on the task at hand. Ken Masters had lost everything. His apparent involvement in the Naishal incident had made him a wanted man. Though his name had been cleared, his life would never be the same. Ken set out on a quest to find the man known as JP, the very one who had attempted to tarnish his good name. And then at last he found a lead. JP had been spotted in Southtown and was going to participate in an upcoming martial arts tournament. Ken wouldn't let JP escape his judgment. Eager to settle the score once and for all, the storied fighter finds his way to Southtown. In pursuit of his partner's killer, SWAT officer Kevin Ryan had been investigating a sinister string of criminal activity winding through Southtown. Over the past few years, rumors swirled of a vicious and mysterious man, face hidden behind long hair. The victim's wounds matched those found on his partner. Kevin was convinced the killer was the same man, Freeman. Kevin walked the beat, joined by Marky, his late partner's young son, but new leads proved few and far between. But then, Kevin receives orders to confiscate Geese's legacy, the grand prize of the upcoming King of Fighters tournament. Kevin's intuition tells him that the lure of the legacy will draw in all manner of unsavory characters, including the elusive Freeman. Following the last tournament, Kim Dong-hwan became an overnight Taekwondo sensation, a true genius of the sport. Blindsided by his own fame, the young hotshot fell prey to overindulgence in every way possible. One day, his father, Kap Hwan, requested he visit the dojo. Believing himself to be the bigger and better man, Dong-hwan approached with a spring in his step. But his happiness was short-lived. Before long, he found himself flat on his back. His inexperience was made achingly clear. When faced with a serious challenger, genius meant less than nothing. His father, silent and stern, had drilled that reality into him. His lesson learned, Kim Dong-hwan decides to enter the upcoming King of Fighters tournament with one goal in mind: to prove to the world and himself that no one could ever hope to match his natural talent, not even his own father. Marco Rodriguez, a zealous devotee of the Kyokugen School of Karate, faced a peculiar predicament. Someone had apparently stolen his dojo's sign. As head instructor and caretaker of the dojo, Marco found himself consumed by shame. The man wept for 3 days and 3 nights, only managing to eat a mere 3 meals each day. As his tears began to dry, he was met with an unexpected visitor, Yuri Sakazaki, the younger sister of Kyokugen master Ryo Sakazaki. With Yuri's encouragement, Marco began to devise a plan. Kyokugen karate represents the mountaintop of strength. To become a true master, one must always continue the climb. And where better for the sign thief to hone their strength than the King of Fighters tournament? That which is stolen can be unstolen, so Marco swears an oath that the Kyokugen sign would stand proud again. Preacher lived by a simple principle. Everything in life could be explained perfectly by science. And so her world was understandably turned upside down when she met a man who could summon hurricanes with his bare hands. Upon witnessing the impossible, Preacher began to walk the path of the martial artist, determined to bring phenomena such as these down to earth, ideally under a microscope. Preacher trained diligently under the Hurricane Man, but as time passed, she found her mind hungering for new mysteries. Hearing that a King of Fighters tournament was fast approaching, Preacher scrambles to join. What incredible new techniques await her discovery? Tizok, the masked fighter, was once a champion uncontested. That is, until a certain loss broke his spirit and ended his career. However, his young fans refused to give up on their hero. Indeed, it was their tireless support that drove Tizok to return to the ring with a vengeance at the previous tournament. One day, a letter from a young fan arrived at his door. The boy had suffered an accident, badly injuring his leg, and it was Tizok's fighting spirit that inspired him to persevere. Tizok thus pledges to emerge victorious at the upcoming King of Fighters, if not for himself, then for the brave boy who believed in him. Vox Reaper's life circled a single question. What did it mean to have free will? Vox was a young assassin sent to dispose of Kynar Heinlein, but found himself stopped effortlessly by Grant, the ambitious man's protector. Grant sensed something unusual in the boy, who was defeated and facing death, and chose to spare him, offering him a new life as his disciple. Having survived through thick and thin with his new master, Vox had all but developed a new lease on life. It was at that time Grant summoned him. Enter the King of Fighters tournament, Grant instructed, before disappearing into the darkness once more. As the newly appointed demon of the criminal underworld, Vox's path is clear. He takes up his mask and falls upon the tournament. Billy Kahn had once served as the right-hand man of Southtown's emperor, Geese Howard. Following Geese's death, Billy became the guardian of the Howard connection, sheltering it from those who might seek to destroy or manipulate it. One day, Billy learned that Geese had left both his will and legacy to his son, Rock. In short order, he contacted Khan, who had been traveling with the boy. Yet as Rock was set to receive what was rightfully his, a mysterious man appeared and snatched it from under his nose. Unwavering in his loyalty and gratitude to Geese, Billy enters the King of Fighters tournament, determined to win back what was lost. Jenny Byrne was a free spirit, sailing the seas as captain of the Lillian Knights. Yet independent though she may have been, she was unable to free herself from her own memories. A year ago, despite many grueling bouts at the King of Fighters tournament, both her treasure and Kynar Heinlein slipped between her fingers. The outcome of the tournament weighed heavy on her mind, now and always. After all, a true pirate captain never leaves a prize unplundered. So when Jenny learned of the King of Fighters tournament on the horizon, she smiled, the wind at her back once more. At last, a golden opportunity to teach that terrible man a lesson. That one should never stand between a pirate and her treasure. The Lillian Knights were on the move yet again. Land ho! Kynar Heinlein's master plan had been to secure independence for Second South. After the last tournament, Kyn would see his ambitions realized, bringing a majority of the city's rival criminal organizations under his control. Upon forging an alliance with the notorious Billy Kahn and the Howard connection, the foundations for an independent Second South had been laid at last. And yet, though his ambitions seemed finally within his grasp, the mastermind felt something weighing on his heart. His sister Marie was still being held captive. And not just that, but Geese's legacy, the sole price for her freedom, was nowhere to be found. Additionally, his old friend Grant barely clung to life. With time short and circumstances dire, Kyn makes his choice, to fight on and do what must be done. Rock Howard, son of Geese Howard, Emperor of Southtown, a troubled youth raised by the very man who vanquished his father years ago, Terry Bogard. Upon hearing that his mother Marie was actually alive and well, Rock parted ways with Terry, seeking answers from Kynar Heinlein. Rock eventually learned of Marie's captivity at the hands of the villainous Mr. Big. According to Kyn's investigation, Big kidnapped her and staged her untimely death as part of a nefarious scheme to manipulate Geese. While in captivity, Marie received treatment for her chronic illness, so much so she was able to stand and walk. To Rock's relief, she was well cared for, though not free, and Mr. Big's ransom was steep. Geese's legacy. Seeking the legacy, Rock paid a visit to someone who knew his father all too well. One Billy Kahn. Billy proved agreeable, but just as Rock's quest seemed to be at an end, a mysterious man ambushed him and fled into the darkness, legacy and all. A number of days later, Rock receives word of the upcoming King of Fighters tournament. The prize, Geese's stolen legacy. Determined to claim his birthright and liberate his mother, Rock steps into the arena.